Hi, do you hear me? Let me put the thing up. Okay. Hello, everyone out there in CJE land. I feel like I'm all by myself. Is anybody there? Laura, are you there? Here, I'll write a comment. Oh, I see a thumbs up. Well, this should be fun, but we have 2 minutes, so I'll talk to myself. Oh, hi, Leah. It's so nice to see you. I'm so happy to have somebody here to make art with me. Maybe we'll get some more people. Here I am in my house all by myself. Well, my husband Jack is here, but he just disappeared because he's going to be on a conference call. He doesn't want to do art anyway, and he gets sick of listening to me talk or play the piano. See, I have a piano, but I don't really play it much because it's too loud. But I work upstairs up there on my computer, but I brought stuff down here and I will show you. I have markers and I have a pencil and I have my book. Hopefully you've read it. And I have some other stuff. So hopefully when we get some more visitors, give it a few minutes, we can get started. So I hope you've been well and not too bored. For some reason, I am busier than ever, which is ridiculous. But I have a nice organized house, need some dusting. And soon I'm gonna hit the pots drawers and the flatware drawers and begin to plan my Seder. What about you? You can write me. How are you doing, everyone out there? Tell me how you're doing at this crazy time and whether you're doing any art while you wait to make art with me. Looks like we've got 4 people. So we'll wait for a few more minutes because it just turned to 2 o'clock. Time flies. I've been up for so long, it feels like, well, I don't know. It's a really sunny day, but it's been very windy. I don't know if anybody's been outside. I have not been outside yet today. I've been working on a big Pesach project. I think it's a secret right now, but soon it won't be a secret anymore. It's not for me, but it sounds very windy today. So, but it's sunny and I'm very happy that it's sunny because sun makes me happy. And soon it'll be warmer and it'll really feel like spring. So, well, you know what I can do? I can read the book to you all while we wait. I read the book for CJE and we recorded it, but that was a really goofy reading. So I think I'm going to read it again and record it. So here we have, you know that that's why we're here. We're doing art that looks like the book, the art in the book. So here we have the book, and there was evening and there was morning, which of course is about creation, Bereshit, the very beginning of the world. And as some of us know, maybe everybody knows, God created the world with words. And so it just so happens that all of the pictures in the book are made with words. And I used Hebrew letter forms to make the pictures in the book. I am not fluent in Hebrew, but I used Hebrew letters to make the pictures. So let's go through that quickly while we wait for some friends, more friends to join us. So, and there was evening and there was morning. Day 1. The world began when God said light and changed the world from dark to bright. Dark in the night and light in the day, a beautiful world was underway. And there was evening and there was morning, a single day. There you go. And you know what? I'm going to quit my mail in this computer so it doesn't drive us all batty while we're playing together. Day 2. For water above and water below, God spoke the words so waters would flow. Down to the sea, waves rushing by, and up to the clouds high in the sky. And there was evening and there was morning, a watery day. Can everybody see this? And you can see, let's see if I can do this backwards, that the word for sky in Hebrew is in the top, and the word for water, mayim, makes up the water in the bottom. Day 3. God separated land from sea, and by more words there came to be fruits ripe and round, blooms and seeds, sprigs and herbs and vines and trees. And there was evening and there was morning, a fruitful day. Here we have the plants. And I'll bet you can figure out what some of those plants are. Day 4. The sun, the moon, and stars that shine high above to mark off time, God set in place so we'd find our way evening to evening and day to day. And there was evening and there was morning, a peaceful day. This is one of my favorite pages. Can you see? I'll bet you can see the shemesh. Can you see the shemesh? See the shemesh? And then on this page, can you see the kochav, the kochavim, made out of the Hebrew letters for star? Day 5. God filled the earth with pikes and jays, gaggling geese and manta rays, birds that soar across the sky, fishes swimming, gliding by. And there was evening and there was morning, a noisy day. Animals. Lots and lots of animals. Noisy, noisy animals. Day 6. More and more living things God brought forth. East and west and south and north. Creatures that slither and crawl and delight. Beasts that run wild and howl in the night. Does anybody see the penguins? The pingvins, in Hebrew they say pingvin, and the polar bear, and the walrus. And what about over here? Anybody see the giraffe? Kind of sounds like English, doesn't it? Right, there we go. For taking good care of this marvelous plan, God spoke the words that made woman and man, to watch over all beings who live in the sky, the sea and the land, and all you can spy. I'll bet you know who God created next. Can you see? Well, I'll give you a bigger picture in a minute. And now, as this glorious masterpiece stood, God looked at the world and declared, "Very good." And there was evening and there was morning, a lively day. You know what I like to call this page? Gan Eden, the Garden of Eden. Can you see all the plants and the animals together? Yes. But there was one more day, right? We had 6 days, and then we have Shabbat. After 6 days of work, God took a rest and named Shabbat, a day to be blessed, a holy day, and now we rest too, so we can begin each week anew. And there is evening and there is morning. And we have the setting sun so that Shabbat can begin. Right here. see? Wait, let's see. Oops, I keep getting it backwards. There we go. The setting sun. So now you get a sense of what the pictures look like. And I guess it's about 7 minutes after 2, so let's start. So the pictures are so small, I thought I would show you a couple of pictures big so you can see how I use the letters to make the animals and the trees. But in this case, I brought some animals to show you. Thank you, Leah. Okay, so one, I'll show you Adam and Chava, Adam and Eve. So if you look closely, you can see, for those of you who know your Hebrew letters, you can see the Aleph and the Daled here. Let's see if I can point. You can see the Aleph and you can see the Daled. They're back to back to make the arms and the legs. And then the little teeny tiny Mem to make the heart. And then you'll see I use other things from the keyboard, like the percentage sign and some squiggly things called dingbats, to make hair and to make the eyes and things, so that you can, so Adam and Eve are pretty much formed. And then because we have a big holiday coming next week, we have Pesach, I thought I would show you an animal that you will recognize from the Seder. Can anybody guess at what this is? Yes, it's a tzfardea. It's a frog. And so you can see here, I use the tzadi back to back, whoops, this way, to make the frog's face. And then if you can see all the way throughout his body, we have the rest of the letter forms. So you can see all the letters. You can see the pe, and you can see, let's see, there's a hey in there to make the pattern. And we have, there's a resh, there's reshes in here, this way. It's backwards, I'm having a hard time. Anyway, so there is a frog. So now I thought, yes, a frog. That's a frog. It's Tzfardea, frog. Okay, so now I thought we can get started and we can make a picture together before you guys make your own. We'll practice together. So I thought, you know, we have a new season. It started a little over a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. Well, let's see if anybody is on wants to tell me what season we're in now. It used to be winter. Can anybody write in and tell me what season it is now? Anybody guess what season it is? It's not winter now. What's it now? Okay, well then I'm going to tell you. In Hebrew, it's Aviv. In English, it's spring. And one of the first signs of spring is that we begin to see buds on the trees and we start to see flowers. So I thought perhaps that we can all make a flower together using the Hebrew letters for the word flower. And if you all downloaded the PDF that CJE had ready for you, then you all have the same sheet that I have here, which is the word perach, which is flower in Hebrew. And you'll see here that I gave you 3 different styles of letters. These are fonts, they're typefaces in 3 different styles. So if you want to get fancier, you just simplify the forms. But we're going to do this together first. But if you have your form, but I've made it easy here for us to do it first. So why don't we make a flower together? And I have, first I'll use my pencil, and I can tilt my computer down so you can watch me. And I thought if you'd like to help me, but you gotta write in so I can see what you say, or I'll do it myself. We can make a garden, you guys can make a garden, or what I thought we would do is we'll make one flower together, and then I can help you through the comment section if you need my help, make your own first flower. So, if you guys want to write in, these are numbered, we can start with the center of the flower, and you can pick what letter by the number you would like me to start with to make our flower. You have all the pes over here, and you have 3 resh, different kinds of reshes, and you have a chet. So does anybody want to suggest, or I will just do it myself? So let's see what happens. I'll give you a few seconds. Yeah. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Anybody want to suggest one? Okay, so I will start then, and I will show you. Let's see. I will take a script P, and I will make the center of the flower. Can everybody see that? There's your center. And then I will take, you can do it pretty simply. Then I will take the basic shape of the chet to make a petal. So if you look closely, then you can see me do a petal shape. Like that, right? And then I'll just repeat it. And I'll go around the P. What do you think? That's starting to look like a flower to me. So, and then we've got one more letter we haven't used yet, which is the resh in the middle. And we can get tricky, and we can extend the stem of the resh. We'll do. And I will make a long stem for the resh, right? And then I will take, I wonder what letter I will make. Ooh, I can do a bunch of different things. Let's see. I can take the chet and I can make a few little leaves. But then maybe I can just be creative, and how could I do this? Maybe my flower has some fun little curlicues growing out of the stem. So then my next step is to add some color. If I want, I can copy this onto a clean sheet. Maybe I want a garden, so I can start over and make a new, I can look at my letters again, and I can make a new flower. So I could start, let's say I do again, and I take that P, that curly P, and I start with a really teeny tiny little center, like this. But then I take my chet and I make little teeny tiny petals. But then I make lots and lots of them. I hope you can see me here. Let's see. And you just keep going around and around until you have a flower that looks like a zinnia. If anybody's ever seen a zinnia, and you can keep going until you have this giant, giant flower. And then you can use your resh, and your resh can be somehow, or maybe do back-to-back reshes, and you can have these little leaves that almost look like hearts. And you can keep going, but you can use your imagination, and then you can copy these over and make a whole garden. You can turn your paper sideways when you copy them over, And you can wind up having a garden with all your flowers lined up. This is what you call a sketch. When artists are trying to figure out what their artwork looks like, they just sketch something out first. And you can do that after you have decided what each of your flowers looks like. Well, then I would take all of my colors and I would decide, oh, well, I have this flower. Maybe I want it to be, I don't know, maybe pink. So I'll take my pink marker and I'll start coloring my petals pink, like that, and I'll go over it, or maybe start a new one with my pink marker and give it, I don't know, maybe a blue center, and take my blue marker and give it a blue center. But you can do whatever you want, depending upon what colors you have, and just keep going. So does anybody have any questions for me to start? Well, why don't you start, and then as you are working, you can ask me questions. How does that sound? Great. Okay, well, I'm going to keep drawing, and you can just let me know if you have any questions. I just really like this pink. I'm gonna, actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna copy these and make a little garden. Let's see if I can do that. Let's see if I can do that. Okay, maybe everybody likes to watch me. Do that. So this one will feel sort of like maybe a sunflower with really big yellow petals, because sunflowers have really big yellow petals. And then it'll have a green stem. Does everybody have green? And of course you can make your flowers with really crazy colors. Like some flowers, you can make a brown flower. You can make a black flower. Maybe some people aren't feeling so happy having to be inside all the time. Oh, you know what? I did this. I wanted to do this sideways. I'm so silly. I forgot. Well, so this, I'll still do it sideways. Let's see. A resh. Let's see. So my leaves will be kind of reshy, like this. There we go. So there's my sunflower. And now let's see. I'm going to give, so that's got to be big compared to my next one. So my next one will be, remember I was making that zinnia, so that had all those petals. So I'm going to start, what's the middle of a zinnia look like? Maybe it'll have sort of a reddish middle. And let's see if I can get this open. Okay, so let me make some little zinnias over here. So this little here, oh, it's kind of brown. Oh, okay. So my little zinnia will have little teeny tiny chets. Okay. Can you see me draw? Yeah, I think you can. So here goes my chets, although I keep making them backwards. Okay. I would love to hear how you guys are doing. Is anybody making their flowers? I'm going to have a whole garden. And I would love to have a garden to make me happy right now. Well, I look at the sun that's coming in the window. My friend Laura, who works at the CJE, is talking to me by text on my iPad. I have 3 pieces of equipment here. I have my iPhone over there on my kitchen counter, and I'm talking to you on my laptop, and I'm talking to Laura on my iPad because I don't want to get disconnected. This technology has been crazy. So here goes my zinnia. Maybe I'll make a couple zinnias. It's got lots and lots of chets. I'm going to get really good at making chets. This is going to be a very, very happy chet. I mean, a very, very happy zinnia. Well, let's see. Maybe I'll put a few more. What do you think? What do you think? I think it needs another petal over here. Like another petal here. What do you think? Okay, now I'm going to get it to, you know what? Maybe I'll give it this color. I'm going to try this color. It's kind of an army green. Let's see. And maybe I'll use a chet. Real long, a really long, skinny chet as a stem. And then I kind of like the idea of, maybe I'll give it blue. What do you think of blue leaves? And I'm going to do these back-to-back reches to give it like heart-shaped leaves. So that's my little zinnia kind of a flower. So now what do you think? I think I need a purple flower. So I think I'm going to start with, I think maybe I need to sketch now because I'm out of ideas. So I'm going to take this paper that I started with, and I'm going to think, how can I use a chet as a major part of my flower? Chet. How can I make a chet look like a flower? Maybe I can make a chet kind of look like a tulip. Maybe I could turn a chet upside down and put another chet inside, and maybe put the little pays on top, and maybe make it look like they're the little, oh, I know, like the little what do they call those? The pistils and the stamens or something? Except I think I did them upside down. Okay, I'm going to try that again. What if I do like this and I do it like that? Yeah, oh, by the way, there's no rules. So you can make your letters upside down and backwards. Anything to make them work. So let me look at this again. So how does this look? So what happens if we turn our pay upside down? Or, so yeah. So what happens if I turn my pay upside down? That could be really funny. What if I turn my rish upside down? What happens if I turn my rish upside down? Or my rish upside down. Yeah, I could do that. That is the funniest, weirdest looking flower I ever saw, guys. Look at this funny thing. Wait, let me show you. Yeah. It vaguely looks like a tulip, sort of. Well, I'm going to call it a flower, and I'm going to figure out how to make it look more like a flower. Maybe if I make it pink and purple and green on the bottom, it'll kind of turn into a flower. I'm going to keep sketching this, and let's see what happens. See? It's, you know, you could say, wait, you know what? Let's see the other hat. Hey, what about the script hat? Look at the script hat. It kind of looks like a English U. Would that look more like a tulip? Upside down? And then we could put the pay, upside down pay. Oh, that looks really goofy. I think I like it better the other way. Let's try. Het. Wait, you know what? And I'm going to make it even more, I'm going to make it look more formal. Like this. Like a het. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it look more like a formal het. Now I'm going to put those little pays in there. Like it's, then I'm going to put a resh. And then, yep. And then we can have the pays, curly cues. Oh, I think I'm going to make my flower look like this one. Where'd it go? Like that. Okay, well, I hope you guys are having fun because I can't see what you're doing, but maybe you'll post them. You'll take a picture of them and post them on the CJE website after you're finished so everybody can see your work. Okay, I'm going to copy this purple tulip, sort of, that I'm making now. We're going to call it a tulip. Here, you can watch me draw this on my garden. Let's see what other colors I can find. It's on the stem. So those little things where the pollen go are kind of yellow, so I'm going to make them yellow. And maybe the bees will come. Maybe I'll draw a bee after. So we can encourage the bees to come. Here's my resh. Kind of doesn't really look like a resh. That was kind of fat. Okay, this might be the same color. I don't know. Well, maybe I'll get this color. I don't even know what color this is, but I need a new color. And here's another resh. Oh, that's a really long, skinny one. And then it needs some curly cues. Here, we'll do more pays. That's the weirdest flower I ever saw, but whatever. It's my happy garden for spring. I'm going to make another one because this one seems a little lonely. I'm going to do another one. Okay. And here's my resh. And here's another resh. Like a stem. And a pay. And a pay. And here. And so here's my garden. Here's my garden of flowers. There's my garden of prachim. So perach is flower, but more than one flower, more than one perach is prachim. So here are my spring prachim, my happy flowers. So I hope you guys have a really good time making your flowers and that you will share them with CJE so we can all see your spring flowers. That will make all, oh, and you know what else? Maybe you will bring them to your seders to make your seders feel festive when, I don't know how many of you will be able to get really fresh flowers for Seder next week. I don't know how many of you are going to be doing Zoom Seders with your family, but I know that my family is going to be doing Zoom Seders because nobody's going to be able to come to our apartment to join us around our table here. So my husband Jack and I are going to be leading a Zoom Seder, and maybe I will cut out this picture of these flowers and hang it up so that everybody will feel like there's some spring flowers at our Seder. So unless anybody has any questions for me, maybe this might be the end of our Create Your Own Alphabet Art workshop for today. What do you think? Any questions, anybody? Well, I'm going to write you a little note. Oh. Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. Here you go. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I should have been scrolling down. Can everybody see this? If you notice in the frog, you can't really see the two tzaddik letters separately. They actually, I smushed them together, right? Anybody else have any questions? The other thing you can do, which you notice in Adam and Eve, and oh, I didn't show you this one up close. In the tiger, you'll notice that the word for tiger is nemer. So that has three letters, three Hebrew letters. Nun, which I put here back to back, and then mem, this giant, which is his body, and then resh, Then I used a bunch of other things to make the tiger's face. So I used numbers, and I used parentheses, and I used shapes and the letter V, and periods and things like that. So once you have your main shapes of your flower, or any other shape that if you ever work on any other form, you can fill in the details with other letters, but I was never to use Hebrew for small details. I only used I used Hebrew for the main shapes in my forms, but never used English or numbers or shapes or anything for the major pieces of my art. So if you're having trouble with what you want to do, you can use dots or English letters.